Now that we know the strategy to grow on Twitter, we still need to write tweets. And I don't know about you, but when I started tweeting, it was very overwhelming because we need to tweet consistently between 2 and 4 times a day, at least 5 days a week for optimal results. So we're looking at 10 to 20 tweets per week. I mean, how do you come up with 20 good tweets in a week? And especially if you're already spending 30 minutes, 1 hour per day engaging with others, like how much time do you have to spend on writing tweets? And do you end up spending 5 hours a day on Twitter, like just to write tweets and engage with others? Like it seems way too much and way too overwhelming. But at the same time, I was also, starting to figure out the strategy of engaging with others. So I was engaging with others and I started noticing when I focus on like myself and the blank page, I can't think of anything. But when I forget that and just start focusing on other people in my niche who write content and engaging back with them, I have tons of ideas. Like somebody's going to tweet something that inspires me, makes me think of an opinion I want to share, or makes me want to rephrase what they said to, give a different flavor to their tweet and bring value. Or maybe I'm going to share like an experience that I had related to what they tweeted. And eventually I started realizing I'm already writing tweets. By replying to people, I'm writing tweets. My replies are tweets. So when you take social media, you look at Instagram, for example, somebody is going to post a picture. And if you want to reply to it, you will reply with text. Not the same type of content. Somebody posts a picture, you reply with text. Now, YouTube, somebody posts a video, you reply and comment with text. Facebook, somebody posts an image or a text, you can only reply with a small comment. The type of data are different. But on Twitter, if somebody tweets, your reply is itself a tweet. It's the same kind of content. And eventually, after doing this strategy for like a few months, I started realizing that my replies were tweets. And so all the time I'm spending engaging with others, it's time spent creating content. But if it's a reply, even though it gives you visibility, it will never have the visibility of a standalone tweet. It can never be trending. People are not going to retweet it as much because, they behave differently because it's a reply. And it's probably not at the optimal time, for your audience because you reply at a different time as you tweet. So I looked at all my replies and I sorted them by most engagement. Took the replies I did that had the most likes. Some had 2, some had 3, some had 5. 1 or 2 had a lot of likes, but basically just a couple likes. Now, let me show you a very neat way to quickly see your best replies. So what you do is you go to the search field, and here's what you type. You type from your username, then you do filter replies, which is going to make sure it only shows your replies and not your tweets. And then you do since last week. So at the time of recording, it means this, October 2022, 17, and then until 2022, 10, 23. So that's all my replies from the past week. And boom, you can see here, top is going to be the most interesting ones. So you can see one with 50. So that's a huge one. That's probably one I could retweet very easily because it was a very successful one. Then there's like a bit less interesting one, but still you can see 4 likes, 8 likes. That's the best ones. And then if you go to latest, what you see is all of them. So all of my replies. That's not as useful, but what you can do is you can add a minimum number of likes. So you can do min favs. And at the beginning, for example, you can do min favs 1. So it removes all the replies that got 0 likes, and you already have way higher quality. But, I'm a bigger account now, so I'm going to do min favs 10. And then I can still see quite a bunch number of replies that got good engagement, and that's going to be very easy to repurpose. I just copy and paste the reply, maybe change the formatting a bit, because when you do a reply, you might just make like a long phrase. And as you create a tweet, you might want to make it a bit prettier, like some line separation, a couple emojis, a couple of things you can do. Also, of course, add a keyword if you don't have one to be trending in a specific topic that you're after. Always do that. But that was it. It took me 10 times less time to reuse my replies than to write tweets from scratch. Invariably, the replies I did that had the most engagement ended up being my most viral tweets. Because you reply already with this content, you are actually beta testing your ideas. So if you're replying 10 times a day, you are testing 10 tweets ideas per day. And then you just have to wait to see if people like it or engage with it. And like, if at the end of the day you look at your 10 replies and you see 2 replies that had 3 likes, boom, you have validated that these were good tweets. It's much easier to write 20 replies than to write 20 tweets from scratch. It's much easier. It's not overwhelming. It's not scary. It's just part of the daily routine that you have now. I'm actually hitting 2 birds with 1 stone because I'm also building relationships, gaining visibility, getting priority in the feed, and all that is positive for my growth. You cannot write everything like this. You cannot write thread like this or memes like this. It's mostly for text content, but at least it's going to give you a baseline of your consistency. You just have to go in your replies and pick from it. And this is going to, change your relationship to tweeting. Because now, instead of worrying, I need to create amazing content every week, it's stressful, you have that taken care of because it's your replies that you repurpose. So now that you do this, all you have to think of is sometimes when you're inspired, you can do a thread. You can spend a few hours writing a thread, or you can spend time like I do creating memes. But you don't have to because you're already tweeting consistently by repurposing the replies. And boom, I have quality content every day on my Twitter that's talking about my niche, that's sharing something I learned, and that is valuable to my audience. So we don't need to do more than this. We can just focus on the replies, and then the content is basically writing itself. You will grow much faster than people who spend their time wondering about amazing tweets, but never engage with anyone. You will grow faster than them just by focusing on engagement and replying, and then repurposing your best replies as standalone tweets.